Mcluvin news on what it feels like to be an old soul in this current generation. Watching your older generation's oldest grandparent running angry and pissed off, running in the White House with his own kids who are going to have to live up, growing up, realizing all the stuff he said and did and live with that horrid legacy. And you know what's funny? They have so much wealth and popularity and infamy. Yes, that's right, the Trumps, and all of them, including even J.D. Vance's family. And by the way, J.D. Vance, thank you for your service to this country, even if people think that you're just a horrible person who lies and manipulates. Thank you for your service serving this country. Donald Trump, I didn't vote for you, sir, but I really hope you do better in this next term because people are watching you, sir. I didn't vote for you. I didn't even vote for J.D. Vance. I voted for a woman, not because she's a woman, but because I actually believed one thing. We need a change. We need a true change. Obama didn't bring that full change. Obama might have proved something. We have enough racism sewed into this country. But you know what's really beautiful about it? His first part truly brought out enough young people into the crowds. And I was a part of that generation. I'm not even embarrassed by it. Who voted for Hillary Clinton? Yep, right here. But you know what else is interesting? As an old soul in an old generation, I have empathy. I have feeling. I can listen to music that most people's generation, old grandparents and older parents, would be quite surprised by. They'd actually be quite pleased by a man of my stature and my age, even as a reporter and an individual that could go into their daughter's life and introduce her to dance and song and romance and not be the type of guy that's trying to sleep around or play games. Actually has a progressive future path for happiness, bringing happiness to her and having a future. But the thing is, it doesn't seem like any woman in this day and age wants a man who has culture, intellect, conversation, stimulation to spark a conversation, something more than just fooling around and messing around. It's interesting how people judge each other on age. Like I see a lot of women that say they don't want a younger guy because he's not grown up. I'm 35 and I've found out I'm actually a lot more mature than a lot of women. But that doesn't mean I look at a woman any differently just because of her age. I see a lot of these single women and I'm starting to wonder, why aren't their kids have a father in their life anymore? Did the woman just completely give up on a male partner? And that's what I'm talking about when I say it's such a concerning factor for all the kids and the generations going forward. What are these kids going to be growing up with? As long as they're watching our personal lives and all the chaos that's going on with personal lives, domestic disputes, conflicts with independent women making their own channels and growing their own clout and their own channel, a lot of them of which, as disgraceful and horrific as it is, selling themselves on the internet, even to sleep around with men, and the most notorious one, as we already know, trying to sleep with over 1,000, don't need to mention her name. If she's even reached that goal, I really hope she finds some peace, because I can tell you right now, there's not a lot of peace for a man at my age, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate, when you feel like you're constantly just sideswiped by and judged for your looks, your personality, the things you're into, the things you're not into. And even with all those people twisting the words of good Christian people. And I'm not even Christian, and I see it happening every day. I listen to old classic music, everything from even before the time of my generation, going and dating back to even the 1920s. You'd be quite surprised. And you know what's interesting? I still have the love and passion to appreciate music of today's world and many of the younger generations. And what's interesting, I still can't seem to find somebody. So what's interesting, now I got to walk a path that's completely separate from what I want to be on. The path of money, the path of influence. And you know what? None of those things are going to bring me direct happiness, because being alone, I'll be honest with you, I don't do so well. But I'm glad I have the people here that watch my news and watch my media and certainly follow with me. And I ask more people to step up, unite together. And if we got to start boycotting and we got to start standing strong, remember something. We're not a part of the so-called sheep people out there that's so hypocritical of those on the right side in Trump's circle and those who are loyal to the MAGA party to call the people sheep. The term sheep can be widely spread around to a lot of different people who are following a certain type of ideology and belief that is leading people to absolutely nowhere, especially selling out the lower and middle class for the upper class and the rich and the wealthy, because that's where the propriety of everything seems to be getting twisted around. Priorities are definitely messed up, and the main goal of what our kids are faced with is left behind to have to pick up the pieces. And I say it's not acceptable. Mcluvin news for the present and for the future, because without the present, there is no future.